My name is Cooper Howell, and I am Mormon, and I am a bisexual, whatever those two things mean. I remember being about 10 years old and not really ever knowing what gay means, what that even meant. And I remember that it was recess and a bunch of us were playing house, and there wasn't a girl around that could play the mom, because in every game of house you need to have a mom and a dad or whatever. And so I volunteered to be the mom, not thinking that it was strange at all. And this guy just started like pretending that we were married, like we would kiss and I'd make him dinner, and I took care of the babies or whatever, and he'd come home from work and I'd get like a, "Oh, welcome home, honey," kiss or whatever. And I didn't think anything was strange until my teacher told me that wasn't right, that we shouldn't play house like that, and I couldn't be the mom anymore, and I didn't understand why. So I went home and I talked to my mom about it, and that's when I really understood what homosexuality was. So starting from then, I really put like a part of my heart sort of aside, because my mom said, that is wrong and that it's a sin and that God doesn't want that. And I never explored it, because I didn't want to make God upset. I didn't want God to hate me. I didn't want God to not love who I was anymore. So I never really thought about it until I served a mission. I served 2 years and I came home, and when I got home from my mission, things were going really well in my life. I was the president of the institute in my area, and I was practically engaged to this really the perfect Mormon woman. Like she was so beautiful and very attractive, very spiritual, had a strong testimony. She just wanted to make a good housewife and a good mom, and she's like what the ensign describes as like the perfect woman, And we were going out for about 5 months, and I was so depressed, and I had no idea why I was depressed, and I didn't feel any passion for her, and I couldn't figure out why I didn't have any passion for her, and I really struggled with that, and I would try, but it just felt like being with her, I just felt so mechanical. I didn't feel like I was actually having a relationship, and it was nothing that she was doing. Nothing inside of me made sense when I was with her, nothing, and I couldn't figure out why. And some things in my life happened, and things with my family happened, and things were really rough, and I just couldn't feel like I could talk to her and connect with her. And I was at this party, and my friend introduced me to this guy, and in about 5 hours, I felt more of a connection with him naturally than I did in 5 months with this girl I was dating. So I sort of, at that point, realized that something was wrong, and I didn't want the answer to be, well, it's because you're a homosexual, it's because you like men. I couldn't live with myself with that answer. Anyway, I just figured like it was the right thing to do to break up with both my fiance and this guy we started hanging out, and he was gay and going to BYU, and I just didn't feel like it was right to be seeing either one of them anymore. And at that point on, I sort of realized that there were things in my heart that I needed to really figure out. And it led me to an extreme depression, and I couldn't get any answers from anyone. I would talk to my bishop and my stake president, and it would seem like oh, I'm so sorry, here's a cookie, here's a scripture, pray. Or I had a stake president just say to me once, just choose girls. And I would try, but telling my heart to do something and telling my brain to do something were two exclusively different things, and I couldn't figure it out. And no one seemed to have an answer. And I didn't know how to live my life anymore. And so I attempted suicide, and it was unsuccessful, and I'm really ashamed of it, because I feel like even if you don't have answers, life is still worth living, you know? So then I started seeing this guy, and it seemed like everything that was wrong with my heart, everything that was so mechanical, just seemed to be right. But then he found out that I was Mormon, and he didn't want to have anything to do with me anymore. So I'm kind of in this place where I'm a Mormon. I have a testimony that the church is true. I know it's true. At least for me, I can feel it when I pray. I can feel it when I obey the commandments. It just makes sense to me, and it makes sense in my heart and in my mind. But I'm so unhappy, and I can't find love anywhere, and I can't find anyone to love me in the church. And when I'm very open about, like, you know, being bisexual or whatever I am, I'm very open about that. But no girl that is Mormon, at least in this area, wants to be with a guy that sort of struggles with his sexuality, and I get it. And then in the homosexual world, no homosexual wants a guy that's struggling with who he is spiritually and obeying the commandments. And so I feel like there's no place to go. I feel like no one really has an answer for me, and so I have to sort of create my own answers, which is scary, because I don't have any examples really that I can follow. I just live day to day. And I think it's so easy to just be like, well, I could be in the church and be lonely, or I could not be in the church and not obey the commandments and not feel that peace anymore. So anyway, so I'm just trying to figure it out. And I know that I'll get an answer, but it either comes from God or it comes from me. And so I'm just sort of waiting and living life day to day.